तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Okay, and I know Abhiraj as well. Actually, I've seen him before. Hare Krishna, everybody. Good to see you back. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. Please note this down. Don't ask me, once we have started reading, it kind of distracts. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter number 12, which is entitled as the creation of Kumaras and others. And last week we read up till text number 20 from memory, if I'm not wrong. So, what we have seen so far, you can hear me, right? Light on clear? Yeah. So, what we have seen so far is that, again, I'll repeat, is that we welcome back Ane, by the way. He has been unwell, so good to see him up. Hopefully, you are feeling better, mate. So, what we have seen so far is the creation by Lord Vishnu, which is called Sarga, which is the primary creation. And that constituted, the creation of Brahma himself, then creation of many, many material elements, so on and so forth. Then now we are seeing the creation of Visarga, which is the creation by Lord Brahma. The first thing that Brahma created was the four Ajnana Vritis, which were the ignorance. We saw that. But after creating the ignorance, Brahma was very displeased because who likes to create ignorance? Then the second thing that Brahma created was knowledge to counteract the effect of the ignorance. And this knowledge were personified into four, which were the four Kumaras. Now, when Brahma asked the four Kumaras to progenate, to create population, the four Kumaras said, no, we want to remain brahmacharis, we don't want to get married. So we're not going to get married. Brahma felt very disrespected by his four sons. Were the four Kumaras wrong? Absolutely not. Because they wanted to save Krishna in their own way, in terms of what was their nature. So, but still Brahma felt disrespected. Brahma kind of got angry as well at them, but he controlled his anger, suppressed his anger is the word somebody used last week, pretty good word. Brahma suppressed his anger, and out of the suppression of anger came Rudra. So Rudra got created. In Leela, Rudra gets created by Brahma. In Tattva, Rudra gets created by Lord Krishna directly. So when Brahma creates the Rudras and asks the Rudras to progenate, the Rudras' behavior was what? What do you think of Rudras' behavior? Now you can unmute and contribute.
Sure.
Yes, Shreya. Shreya, what did you say?
Sure.
What's the word? Sure, did you say?
Yeah.
S-U-I-S-U-E. Yeah, so now you can, I say you can contribute, you can participate. What was the Rudra's behavior, characteristics? What happened?
The Rudra's behavior was always anger because he was formed from Brahma's anger.
Okay, on point. Keep going.
Wait, was he submissive?
They were very submissive. Why were they submissive, Shreya?
Because he wanted to obey whatever his father.
Whatever Brahma said, they agreed. Very good. What else we saw? Anybody else? Otherwise, keep
I'm
going.
pretty sure Rudra's kind of Shivji.
Say it again, Anya.
Rudra's kind of like Shivji, and
Yeah.
he's a
Expansion of,
destroyer.
very good. He's the expansion of Shiva, and they are in the role of destroying. What else we saw? What about in terms of delegation and allocation of duties? What did we learn?
Whatever, Brahma gave Rudra the job of creation. but he should have understood that Rudra is formed from an anger, like Rudra is formed from my anger. And because he's formed from anger, mostly when people are angry, they destruct things. So Rudra's nature will also be to destruct, not to create.
Very good. No, so he gave kind of seemed the inappropriate task to the Rudras because they are in the mode of destroying, not in the mode of creating. And we saw that the Rudras started creating havoc in the society. Yeah. Then what happened? How can you forget 11s?
The 11 names of Rudras, the 11 Rudras, the 11 wives of Rudras, the 11 places of Rudras.
Very good. Very good. And then Rudras started creating. Then what was Brahma's in starting with the
Prabhuji.
word day? Yes.
Those are something the Rudra's wives, so the Rudranis.
Very good. Rudra's wife were the Rudranis. Very difficult to remember, yeah, but good to recall. What about the word starting with D? How did we summarize Brahma's mood starting with our 3Ds going on? With Rudra, what was the mood? Huh? Disturbed, yeah. Yeah. So displeased with the ignorance, disrespected by the four Kumaras, and disturbed by the Rudras. And we stopped there. Then what did Brahma tell Rudras after all this? What did he tell them?
Go fix it.
Go fix it. Go do austerities. Yeah.
Meditation.
Go do meditation, austerity. Why? Because Krishna will give you empowerment to do the right thing. What did the Rudra say? How can you stop us now midway through? We're
Okay,
not gonna go.
he went.
He said, okay, whatever my father says.
So they continued to show their nature of submissiveness. Yeah. Okay. So that takes us to text number 20. Now let's see what else Brahma creates. What is Brahma's sole focused goal at the moment in this chapter or in this part of his life?
To make population.
To create population. Has he been successful?
No.
No.
Doesn't seem like. To some extent, yeah, maybe one or two people there, literally, no, but not too many. So work in progress. Let's see what he creates in text number 21. Yatin. By the way, you have joined late. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter number 12, text number 20. We are starting from 20.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Yatin. Yatin, read.
Yes, Prabhuji. 20. Shri Maitreya said, "Does Rudra having been ordered by
21. Actually, 21. Sorry, we read 20 yesterday. Let's do 21.
Brahma, who is empowered by the Supreme Personality of God and thought of generating living entities and begot 10 sons for the extension of the generations."
So Brahma begot now 10 sons. That's his next progeny. Yeah. Who are the 10 sons? Let's find out in 22. Yatin, keep reading.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 22.
Yep.
Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Kratu, Vrugu, Vashishta, Daksha, and the 10th son, Dharma, were thus born.
How many of these names sound little familiar of the 10 sons born there?
Breakthrough.
Yeah, Bhrigu, you might know. Vasisht Muni, you know. Daksha, you know. Narad Muni. Let's remember Marichi and Narada at least. I want you to remember maybe Daksha as well, actually. Atri, Angira, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrigu, Vasistha. Remember Daksha,
All these titles
Marichi.
are in the Bhagavatam. Like that.
Yeah, I know. But the reason I want you to remember Marichi, Daksha, and Narada is for a particular reason because they will appear in the next storyline very soon. So remember Daksha, Narada, and Marichi. How many of these were married eventually and not married? Does anybody know?
Daksha was married.
Narada was
He
not
was
married.
not married.
Narad was never married. Daksha was married. The others may or may not. We don't know. But Bhagavatam will answer those questions very soon.
was married.
Maybe. Yeah. Do you know his wife's name, Aviraj?
I don't know, but I'm
No.
pretty sure. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that he was Ravana's
Oh yeah. Grandfather, right? Or father-in-law, I think. No, you may be right actually. Anyway, just remember the three. So Narad, so Brahma has created 10 sons. Text number 23, Trisha.
I don't have the text.
Okay, Rudransh, text number 23.
Narada was born from the deliberation of Brahma, which is the best part of his body. Where Vesta was born from his breathing, Taksha from a thumb, Burga from his touch, and Karuta from his hand.
Okay, so different parts of the body, the different people were born. I'm going to read some more myself to be a little bit faster so that we can reach to text number 28. Because here at the moment, Maitreya Muni is just telling who was born from which part of Brahma. Text number 25. Religion was manifested from the breast of Brahma, wherein is seated the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayana, an irreligion appeared from his back, where a horrible death takes place for the living entity. So we see now the creation of religion and irreligion. Some more things Brahma has created. You don't have to remember all this. 26. Lust and desire. Now we see lust and desire being created by Brahma. Lust and desire became manifested from the heart of Brahma, anger from between his eyebrows, greed from between his lips, power of speaking from his mouth, ocean from his penis, and low and abominable activities from his anus, the source of all sin. So different parts of body is being created, and Brahma is creating different things. 27. Sage Kardama, husband of great Devahuti, was manifested from the shadow of Brahma. Thus all became manifested from the either body or mind of Brahma. So what we have seen in summary, we have seen the 10 sons of Brahma being created. Then we see different things like religion, irreligion, lust, anger, greed, and then deliberations. All those things Brahma is creating. Too many things are being created now. If you don't remember all this, don't worry. But just know that Brahma is busy creating. But not too much of population is going on, yeah? Because Brahma's job is to create population. That he is not, Bhagavatam doesn't tell us yet whether he has been fully successful. That takes us to text number 28. Now let's see what Brahma creates in text number 28. Gorangi Radha.
Yes,
Yeah.
Text number 28. Oh Vidura, we have heard that Brahma had a daughter named Vak, who was born from his body and who attracted his mind towards sex, although she was not sexual inclined towards him.
Okay, so now we see that Brahma has created a daughter as well. What was the daughter's name? Vak. You have to remember this name, yeah, Vak. Brahma's first daughter's name, or not first, I don't know whether it was first or not, but Brahma's daughter's name is Vak. Text number 29.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
I have a question.
yes,
Do we remember all of the things like last was created from his?
no, don't have to remember all that. But just remember Narad Muni, Marichi, as I said, and Daksha. And then remember now Vak was created by Brahma, right? His own daughter. 29. Shreya.
Thus, finding their father so deluded in an act of immorality, the sages held by Marichi, all sons of Brahma, spoke as follows with great respect.
So now what has happened? Brahma has created a daughter. Her name is Vak. And sadly, Brahma has started liking his own daughter. Now we have to be very careful with this kind of episodes in Bhagavatam. Why is Maitreya Muni telling us all this? So that we learn to know the position of exalted devotees. Now when we see Brahma seems to have made a mistake. And now sometimes we are very quick to judge exalted devotees like Brahma to say, now again Brahma start liking his own daughter. It seems like immoral activity. But let's also see what Bhagavatam teaches us about Brahma, notwithstanding the fact that Brahma may seem to have been little bit immoral. But let's just see what Maitreya Muni has to tell about Brahma and what Maitreya Muni tells about, what Maitreya Muni warns us about our judgment towards Brahma. So what did he say here? Maitreya Muni initially said that it seemed that his father was, that Brahma was immoral, and finding in text number 29, thus finding their father so deluded. When Maitreya Muni is saying their father, whom is he talking about? Who is there here?
The 10 sages.
Very good, Ane. 10 sages, very good comprehension. Those 10 sages that he had created, including Narad and all that. When you can rephrase this sentence by saying, thus the 10 children created by Brahma, finding their father so deluded in act of immorality, the sages headed by Marichi. Remember, I told you to remember the name Marichi. And all sons of Brahma, the other 9 sons of Brahma, spoke to their father with great respect. How did they speak to their father? I want you to remember this as well, with great respect. It's not that they went to their father and then said, "Oh, Brahma, what the heck are you doing? No, what are you doing? What is your problem?" Not like in that kind of condescending tone, yeah. Very, very respectfully, they went to Brahma and said, "What did they say?" Let's find out in text number 30. Aviraj, you've got text with you. You want to read?
Oh, Father, this performance in which you are endeavoring to complicate yourself was never attempted by any other Brahma, nor by anyone else, nor by you in previous kalpas, nor will anyone dare to attempt it in the future. You are the supreme being in the universe, so how it is that you want to have sex with your daughter and you cannot control your desire?
So what are the 10 sages saying to their father to say, "Oh, Brahma, you are doing something that has never been done before." In English, we use the word unprecedented. It is something you have not done before, unprecedented task. Then how can, no, how are you embroiled in such kind of lusty desire? So they are saying this to their father very respectfully. 31. Let's keep building up the story. Let's see in 31. Anay?
Even though you are the most powerful being, this act does not suit you because your character is followed for spiritual improvement, but people in general.
So let's learn some values here, right? First thing, first value is what? Even though you are most powerful, just because we have got power does not entitle us to abuse that power. A lot of people have got power. And in the modern times, we see, like the government ministers, the prime ministers, the presidents, they will abuse the power. So here the sages are teaching us a lesson, and these are all leadership skills for you. Yeah, all of you in the future will be leaders in some way or the other. Leaders in the school, leaders in the university, leaders in office, leaders in business, leaders in the temple. Just because we have power does not mean we can abuse the power. So Brahma is very powerful at the moment. First thing is he should not abuse his power. And then the second thing, because he's a role model, whatever he does, common people will follow. So if he does something wrong or immoral, then he's setting a wrong example to the rest of the population. So he has to be extremely careful with his behavior. Who remembers the Bhagavad Gita verse that comes to mind? That we have to be role models. If we do, people will follow us. Krishna tells Arjun. Yes, Kashvika.
Dhritarashtra Dhammasetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsava Mamaka Pandavaskeva Cheva Kimukurvata Sanjaya.
Okay, very good, Kashvika, but that's not the verse that I wanted you to recall. Who recalls a verse when Krishna says that, whatever we do, common people will follow? So many Bhakta Prahlad classes you have gone and memorized so many verses. And you know my style. I don't ask you to memorize verses. I want you to recall verses. Then I know that you have learned the verses. Whatever a great man does, whatever a noble person does, the common man will follow. That's the English translation. What's the verse?
Tamam Partha.
Yad yad? Yad yad.
Acharya
Okay, Anusha, what does that verse mean? Yad yad acharasti shreshtas.
A common man will follow whatever
Yes, a great person does. Shreya, what does that verse mean? You're able to recall it.
I don't know.
Where whatever a noble person does, common man will follow. Yad yad acharati shreshta. Shreshta means noble person. Acharati means, his achar means his character. So whatever character he displays, tat tat, so that common people will follow. So that's what here the sages are telling Brahma. Whatever. So two things sages have said. I want you to remember the two things for the purpose of the recap quiz. First thing is that don't misuse your power, O Brahma. Two, whatever you do, common people will follow. So be very careful of your character. Text number 32. Who's reading now? Ane read, yeah? Samita?
Okay. What text is it?
32.
Okay. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, who by his own elegance, while situated in himself, has manifested this commerce. May he also protect religion for all goodness.
Okay, so the third thing the sages have said to Brahma is what? Let us offer our respectful obeisances to God, Godhead, Krishna. Why? He may protect religion from all goodness. Now raise your hand. What are the sages actually saying? Point one. And point two, why are they saying this? Three things you have to answer. What they are saying, why they are saying, what is the connection? Why and what is the connection, I guess, is the same thing. Connection to the storyline. Yes, somebody? Whose hand is up? Shreya, is that your hand up? Gaurang, is that your hand up? Yeah, okay, Shreya first.
They're trying to remind him of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and and he's saying that he's praying that may the Supreme Personality of Godhead protect religion for also Brahma.
Give what? What was the last thing you said?
May the Supreme Personality of Godhead also protect religion from Brahma and like not let him deviate.
Okay, good. Gaurangi?
That when I think they're trying to say that when when everything was created and Brahma was left in the dark, when he was in ignorance, he had gone completely down the stem, but still he could find no one. But when he folded his hand and prayed to Lord Shri Krishna, then only he could come out of the illusion. So if he now prays to Lord Krishna, then maybe he'll be able to come out of.
Oh, very good. Oh, very good. Excellent. What is the lesson learned? Anybody? What is the lesson learned for us? Shreya?
When you're in difficulty, pray to Lord Krishna.
Yeah, when we are in exactly now. And here, if you see the connection, the sons are talking to their father, and father is kind of immoral at the moment. So they are very careful in their way they talk to their father. They are not trying to be disrespectful to their father. At the same time, they are also not trying to be silent and let the problem continue. It's a difficult position, right? If you have to correct your parents, for example, you cannot just correct them because it will be very disrespectful. But if you totally think they are wrong, and if you don't tell them at all, then that is also not very nice. So, in our cases, we go and speak to somebody else who can speak to our parents, blah, blah, blah. But in Brahma's case, the children talk to Brahma directly, but very, very respectfully to say, no, you seem to have done something wrong. This is unprecedented. Let's all worship Lord Krishna so that he can empower you and us so that the right thing then eventually prevails. Very good. 32. 33. One more text. Who's going to read? Tanvik?
33. The father of all Prajapatis, Brahma, thus seeing all his Prajapati sons speaking in that way, became very much ashamed and at once gave up the body he had accepted. There that body appeared in all directions as a dangerous fog in darkness.
So what has Brahma done? Brahma, because he has now realized that he has done something immoral and wrong, Brahma gives up his body. When we say Brahma gives us his body, does not mean Brahma dies, literally. Brahma has got subtle, we have all got subtle and gross body. So Brahma giving up his body means Brahma has given up his bad mentality, the mind, intelligence, and false ego. So he's given up all those bad mentality. So what do you think of Brahma's character? Something starting with letter D. We have got displeased, disrespected, disturbed,
Disillusion.
disillusion. Yeah, still that's a very good one. What else?
What are the 5 Ds? What are the 5 Ds?
We have already discussed Yatin. Initially he was displeased, then he was then he was
Distracted.
Who said just now? So who said something? Tanvik. Distracted for what now? Brahma is distracted.
Distracted from his job because he had sex.
Yeah, I would just go with that, Brahma is delusion is also very good. Brahma's delusion is good, but in terms of the storyline, he's distracted. He's supposed to be creating progeny, but now he's got distracted by some nasty desires. So for the Vak philosophy, remember the D is distraction. Brahma is distracted. What happens when Brahma is distracted? Do you think he will give up his job or will he come back with full force? Let's find out. Text number 30.
Okay, this makes sense. If Brahma was dead, that we would be then you remember you said it would be darkness. Like
Yeah,
when Brahma's awake, then it's like all light, and then when he sleeps,
correct.
it's
Correct. That's why we know he's not dead. He's just given up his bed mentality when we say he's given up his body. Okay, now from 34 to 44, 47, maybe 48, we see Brahma creates so many other things. So what is the lesson learned? When Brahma is distracted, does not mean that he is distracted forever. When we, in our case, get distracted by something in our Krishna consciousness endeavor, we just have to pick up and keep going. Now, don't get distracted forever. Like when we were babies, we could not walk, remember? But when we got up, who remembers getting up first time and walking? Some of you still remember. And then we fell down. Then what happened? Mummy came or daddy came and held our finger and then taught us how to walk another step. And then we fall down again. And then we stood up again and fell down again. So like that, eventually we started walking. Now what to talk about walking? We are running and we are jumping. Yeah. But the way we can run and jump is because we started with initially walking couple of baby steps and falling down. So when we get distracted with anything, with our bhakti, with our school work, with anything, just come back on track, and continue our journey from there. So we see Brahma coming back with full force and creating so many more things. So I'll continue reading now a little bit faster, and then we will close with the important verses. Yeah, 34. Once upon a time, when Brahma was thinking of how to create the worlds in his past millennium, the four Vedas, which contain all varieties of knowledge, became manifested from his four mouths. So Brahma has got four heads and four mouths, and he has created four Vedas. Raise your hand if you know the name of the four Vedas. Not all of you know the name of the four Vedas.
Maybe one is wait, I forgot.
Okay. Priya will know. I know that. Anusha will know. Anil will know.
Rigveda, Samveda, the Rigveda and Samveda, the other two, I forgot.
You don't know other two? Okay, sure.
Yajurveda.
Rigveda and Atharva Veda.
Yeah, so remember these four names. You don't have to remember. It's nice to remember if you can. So Rig Veda, Shama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. Maybe if Garna Mataji comes back, she can post this on the group. Yeah, so you can learn it. If you
Verse 37, it says in verse 37.
Yeah, so if you can't, that's what I'm saying. If you can't remember the name, that's fine. But if you can, then just four names are not too hard to remember. Yeah, came from Brahma's mouth. So what is Brahma created now? The four Vedas, 36. The four kinds of paraphernalia for conducting the fire sacrifice became manifest. The performance, the ofra, the fire, the action performed in terms of supplementary Vedas. Also, the four principles of religiosity, truth, austerity, mercy, and cleanliness, and the duties in the four social orders became manifest. I'll keep reading, yeah. Vidura asked, "O great sage, whose only wealth is penance, kindly explain to me how and whose help Brahma established the Vedic knowledge which emanated from his mouth." 37. Maitreya said, beginning from the front face of Brahma, gradually the four Vedas. Now comes the name, yeah. The Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Shama Veda, and Atharva Veda became manifested. Text number 38. He also created the medical science, military art, musical art, and architectural science, all from the Vedas. They all emanated from one another, beginning from the front face. So more and more things Brahma is creating. 39. Then he created the fifth Veda. What is the fifth Veda? Unmute.
The Puranas and the histories.
What is what is a more clearer answer? The fifth Veda, the Pancham Veda. Who knows? So there are four Vedas.
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam. Yeah. So Bhagavatam is the Pancham Veda. No, Bhagavatam. So the four Vedas.
is the Shiva Bhagavatam?
Huh?
What Veda is the Srimad Bhagavatam part?
So the four Vedas talk about four subject matters. Who knows that? What are the four subject matters of the four Vedas?
I think Atharva Veda talks about medicine.
Oh, okay, yeah, they do. But what are the
Some-
four subject matters? Yeah,
Some Vedas are songs.
yeah,
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Remember that as well. The four Vedas talk about four subject matters, which is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. None of them very elaborately speak about bhakti. And what does Bhagavatam talk about? What's the subject matter of Bhagavatam?
Bhakti.
There are 10 subject matters in Bhagavatam, but even in that 10 subject matters, the essence is always bhakti. So that's why Bhagavatam is the Pancham Veda, yeah. So now you can remember five Vedas: Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yatur Veda, Thorva Veda, and Bhagavatam. So that takes us to text number 14. All the different varieties of fire sacrifices became manifested from the eastern mouth of Brahma. 41. Education, charity, penance, truth are all said to be the four legs of religion, so on and so forth. 42. Then the thread ceremony of the twice born was inaugurated, which is what you call the Upanayam. Yeah. 43. The four divisions of retired life were created. 44. The science of logical argument of the Vedic goals of life and also the law and order, moral codes, everything. Brahma is creating so many things. We won't be able to remember most of them. Yeah. 45. Thereafter, the art of literally expansion. Usnik was generated from the hairs of the body of the Almighty Prajapati. The principal Vedic hymn Gayatri was generated from the skin. Trishtup from the flesh, Anustup from the veins, and Jagati from the bones of Lord and living entities. 45, I want you to remember some things, if you can, if you want to. This, and when Amandar Babu talks about this, he presume he will be here in Melbourne very soon. He told us that our Sanskrit slokas are in different chandas, or I think we call chandas. Is that how you call it? Chandas. So here we see some of those. What are they? The Trishtup and the Anustup and our Bhagavad Gita. I'm not good with Sanskrit, right? So I'm just trying to recall what he said. Bhagavad Gita is in which syllable? Does anybody remember? If I'm not wrong, I think it was Anustup Chanda, no? Because Anustup means 32. See here, you can see it says 32. So Bhagavad Gita is in 8 syllables on the top and then times 4. So 8 4 32. Generally speaking, it is in Anustup Chanda. I'm not very good with this, so I'll leave it to you guys to figure out. But if you want the names of the
Do we have to remember the
no, you don't have to remember any of this. No, even I don't know. So how can I expect you to remember if I can't teach properly? Yeah. But if somebody else teaches you, like Amandra Babu, then you learn from them. 46. The art of writing verses Pankti became manifested from the bone marrow, so on and so forth. 47. Brahma's soul was manifested as touch alphabets, his body as the vowel, so on and so forth. 48. We'll pause at 48. So far, let's read 48 as well, actually. Brahman is the personal representation of Supreme. By the way, I've read those half translations only. In your own time, if you want, you can read the full translations as well, yeah? Brahman is the personal representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the source of transcendental sound, and is therefore above the conception of manifested and unmanifested. Brahma is the complete form of the Absolute One and is invested in multifarious energy. So, long story short, after creating Vak and getting distracted, Brahma has now gone ahead and created so many different things. Let's see what happens in 49. And somebody can read 49 now. We'll slow down now. Anusha.
Thereafter, Brahma accepted another body in which sex life was not forbidden, and thus he engaged himself in the matter of further creation.
So even in that life, Brahma created so many things, and now Brahma has taken another life, no, as in another mentality, and he is creating some more things. So what do we think? Brahma has been successful in progeniting or not? What's your view from what we have gathered so far? Yeah, Shriya is shaking his head, as in saying no, not successful. Yeah, not successful. Samitari is saying. Anybody thinks Brahma has been successfully finished this task that Krishna gave him? Tanvik thinks Brahma has completed his task. Aviras thinks Brahma has done well done. But some of you think Brahma has not finished. Yatin, what do you think? Yes, good job or no, bad job?
Prabhuji, I think because he's he's created bhakti.
Well, Prabhuji, I think so. It's going to be both.
A kind of both, yeah. Let's see what Brahma. Okay, so from 50, let's see what Brahma thinks what he has done, yeah. Text number 50. Yes, Garangi?
Actually, I had a question. What happened to Vaks then?
Bhagavatam doesn't tell us for now. I don't know the answer. Bhagavatam for almost till Canto 4, which I have read, doesn't talk about what happened to Vak. So I don't know the answer. Might come later. Okay, 50. Anya?
Me? 50?
Yep.
O son of the Kurus, when Brahma saw that in spite of the presence of sages of great potency, there was no sufficient increase in the population, he seriously began to consider how the population could be increased.
So we see what Brahma is thinking about his problem, yeah? When Brahma saw that in spite of the presence of the sages and great potency, there was no sufficient increase in population, he began to seriously consider how the population could be increased. So now we get the answer. The Brahma himself thinks that he has not satisfactorily completed the task that was given to him by Lord Krishna. So he's thinking how to increase it. Now let's pause there. Raise your hand. Don't say it loudly. Just raise your hand. If you know the answer, if you think you want to answer. Why do you think Brahma has been incapable of sufficiently completing the task? What is the problem? Yes, Tanvik.
Because I think because it was like the creation had to be increased.
No, I don't know what you are saying. You raised your hand before even I finished my question. So you'll have to little bit think, before you answer. Why do you think Brahma has been unsuccessful? Tanvik, if you can also adjust your camera a little bit, because I can only see half of your face. Yeah, or maybe your body. This is better now. Yes, Shriya, why do you think Brahma has been incapable?
I have two thinkings. One of them is because he didn't pray to the Lord to ask him how he should do it, and two, because he kept deciding the wrong people to do it.
Yeah, kept yes, wrong people to do it, and then he is not meditating on the Lord. Good answers actually. Anybody else, Garangi?
Prabhuji, I think that when I also think the point which Shriya told that when Brahma he gave the wrong people to do it, and also that he did not pray to Vishnu when he understood and he gave up his bad mentalities. That's what's written, but it is not written that he then started. He even prayed to Lord Vishnu before starting with him.
Okay, so your answers are same as Shriya. That he has not, and that those two are very brilliant answers. And I want you to remember this for the recap as well. So yes, Yatin.
Prabhuji, in Tattva, how are the Rudras born?
Rudras were born from Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Okay, so the problem with Brahma, in summary, is that he is trying to do all these things solo. He's trying to do all these things alone, without prayerful obedience, submissiveness, dependence on the Lord. What does that mean for us? In our lives, when we also try to do things on our own endeavor, we are not going to be successful. The mercy of the Lord has to be there. So even in bhakti, actually, when we want to be Krishna conscious, if we want to do it on our own, it's not possible. That's why whenever you go to the temple, when you are bowing down to the Lord, always ask, for the Lord's power, strength, mercy, blessings, so that we can progress in bhakti. Or if you are going to the school, it's very difficult to study on your own without the contribution from the teacher. That's why we go to school, yeah? The teacher is there to guide us and empower us to teach us. On our own, it's going to be very, very difficult, almost mission impossible, actually. So Brahma is trying to do a mega task. How many of you have seen this TV serials. It is called Mega Construction. Anybody knows about this? Now there is a TV serial called Mega Construction. They tell you, how big bridges and buildings and skyscrapers, those big things are made. Mega construction. It's quite fascinating actually. So here Brahma is going to attempting to create something that is super duper mega. It's not possible to do it on his own. Although the Lord has blessed him that you will be successful and you can do it, but still Brahma is not successful. Why? Because Brahma kind of have for now forgotten that he has to depend on the Lord. What does this remind us about Brahma's day one? Remember back then, what mistakes Brahma did on day one? Tanvi.
Brahma didn't pray to Lord Shri Krishna.
Yeah, Gaurangi alluded to that fact that even at the beginning when Brahma was trying to figure out who he is and what is his role, he was trying to do it on his own. He went down the stem and couldn't figure out who Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is until he came back. And then he meditated on the Lord and the Lord gave darshan. So if we think that,
Do you
yes,
know how the Lord Brahma had to start meditation? It's because the Veds were saying tapa tapa.
yeah, tapa, very good.
And
Yes.
that means you have to do tapasya.
Correct. So what do you think Brahma should do now? Long story short.
He should meditate on Lord Shri Krishna.
He should meditate on Lord Vishnu. Gaurangi says, anybody else?
You should meditate on Lord Krishna.
He should meditate on the Lord, yeah. Anybody else? Any other answer or same answer?
Yeah, he should do tapasya.
He should do tapasya, he should meditate. Let's see what Brahma actually does. Text number 50. 1. Who hasn't read? Daksh, you want to read? No, you are on mute. Ane? 51.
Prabhuji, could I?
Brahma,
Yeah. We'll come to you, Kashvika, after Ane.
Brahma thought to himself, alas, it is wonderful that in spite of my being scattered all over, there is still insufficient population throughout the universe. There is no other cause for this misfortune but destiny.
Kashvika, read 52. But you have disappeared now. Yes, read 52, please.
While he was thus absorbed in contemplation and was observing the supernatural power to other forms were generated from his body. They are still celebrated as the body of Brahma.
Okay, so now when Brahma is doing contemplation, means meditation on the Lord, so he has kind of given up because, he got displaced, disrespected, disturbed, distracted, and then he finally saw the deficiency in the population because he was not. Oh, I forgot to mention to you in the other episode when Brahma is trying to create so many other things, but still he saw there was not enough population. Then our fourth or fifth D, whatever it is, fourth or fifth, I can't remember, will be deficiency. When he's created everything else, he's still saying there's deficiency in population. So now we've got our 5 Ds for this chapter, yeah? Displaced, disrespected, disturbed, distracted, no, displaced, disrespected,
Disturbed,
disturbed,
distracted,
distracted, and then the deficiency in population, yeah? So when he's finally given up with all this D, Angarangi?
What is after displeased and after disrespected?
Okay, so I'll repeat. When he created ignorance, he was displaced. One last time. When he created the 4 Kumaras, he was disrespected. When he created Rudra, he was disturbed. When he created Vak, he was distracted. And when he created all the other sages, he still saw there was deficiency. And after that, he sat down and meditated on the Lord. When he meditated on the Lord, which is the verse we just read, then 2 other forms were created. Bhagavatam, it's in the Sanskrit, I think, they are called Manu and Satrupa. You must remember these 2 names. Because the whole Bhagavatam from now onwards will be about Manu and Satrupa. So Brahma has created from his body 2 people. Manu is the man and Satrupa is the woman. So two more people are created. So now let's see with the
How is
creation.
the last one?
So how do we spell?
The last one?
Yes, Satrupa, S-A-T.
No, the last D.
Oh, deficiency. Who knows how to spell deficiency? D-E-F deficiency. D-E-F-I-C-I-E-N-C-Y. Did I get it right? Think so. D-I-F-I-C-I-E-N-C-Y. Deficiency. Deficiency means deficient. Yeah, I'm not complete. So then two forms are created. Let's see what happens to the two forms. Text number 54. Anya? Or 53.
After them, the one who had the male form became known as Manu, named Swayambhuva, and the woman became known as Satrupa, the queen of the great soul Manu.
Okay, now this time, for the first time ever, the next set of creation, which is Manu and Satrupa, have happened after the meditation of the Lord on the the meditation of Brahma on the Lord. Now, everything else before that was before his austerity and tapasya and meditation. So, will this make Brahma's population project complete or not? We don't know yet, but we see that two more people are created. 55. Who's reading? Somebody, Shreya?
Okay. 53.
50, I don't know, I lost track. 55?
55.
55.
Yep.
Thereafter, by sex indulgence, they gradually increased generations of population one after another.
So they gradually increase generations of population after one another. So Bhagavatam tells us that the population seems to be increasing at a rapid pace now. Yeah. Let's read 50. Shreya, you got a question?
Yeah, I have a question. What happened
Yes.
to Rudra after he went to meditate?
We'll find out. He'll come back in Bhagavatam later. But now he's on meditation. He's away from the project of creation. They'll come back when annihilation has to happen later in Bhagavatam. But that by that time you'll be probably 20 years old. Because that will be like Canto 12 or something, you know. But park that question for now. The Rudras will come back. Okay, so but Manu and Satrupa are now busy. Remember, our mood at the moment is about creation, creation, creation. Yeah. So Manu and Satrupa are now busy creating, and they seem to be quite successful. Why? Because this time Brahma prayed to the Lord, and the Lord has said simple. So see, in our life, when we have problems, just go to the Lord, and He will give us a solution immediately. Brahma was trying so many attempts, so many days, so many failures, and now immediately the population is increasing because he just contemplated on the Lord. So in our life, life can be very simple actually. If you just pray to the Lord, life will become very simple, less complicated. Yeah. Okay, next verse, 56, Anusha.
O son of Bharata, in due course of time, he, Manu, begot in Satarupa 5 children, 2 sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada, and 3 daughters, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti.
So Manu and Satrupa initially created 5 children. You have to remember these 5 names as well. Why? Because again, the rest of Canto 3 and complete Canto 4 and some part of Canto 5 will be about these 5 children only. We will now see the progeny of each of these children. So remember the 5 names. Akuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti, 3 daughters, and 2 sons, Uttanapad and Priyavrata. How? You'll just get used to the name somehow or the other. Uttanapad and Priyavrata are the 2 sons of Manu and Satrupa, which are grandchildren of Brahma, and 3 daughters, which are Akuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti. Memorize it somehow or the other, if you don't know. Anusha?
Prabhuji, is this Uttanapada the same as Dhruva's father?
Yes. Yes. And we'll see Uttanapad coming as Dhruva's father. So that's we'll see the progeny of Dhruva. Yeah. So Manu and Satrupa, 5 children. Yes, Kashvika?
Prabhuji, could you repeat the names?
The names are given in text number 56. Zarana Mataji will post it. But they are Uttanapad and Priyavrata. 2 children. Priyavrata is the eldest son. Then Uttanapad is the second son. Then 3 daughters, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti. If you can't remember, don't worry, because we'll read about them again and again and again and again, and you'll get used to it, just as you have got used to Vidura and Maitreya Muni. Remember, all this discussion is happening between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. Maitreya Muni is telling Vidura all this. So 5 children. Text number 57, last verse. Who wants to read? As in who has not read? Chaitanya, 57. Chaitanya, you have to unmute. Can't hear
We
you.
can't hear him, even though
You
he's
can't
reading.
hear you. You seem to
I
be
think his
talking.
audio is not connected properly.
Audio is not connected. Finish it off. Somebody finish it off. Arnav, you
The
can read. Rudransh, anybody, just finish it off.
I'll just do it.
I'll do it.
And Prabhuji,
Yes, Ane.
the father Manu handed over his first daughter Akuti to the sage Ruchi, the middle daughter Devahuti to the sage Kardama, and the youngest Prasuti to Daksha. From them, all the world filled with population.
Okay, so we see the marriage of the three girls. Yeah, Akuti to Ruchi, if you want to remember, if you can. Devahuti to Kardama, if you can remember. Don't worry if you can't remember, because we'll read so much about them that it will become in your blood. It will flow in your blood very soon. And Prasuti to Daksha. From them, last sentence of the chapter. From them, all the world filled with population. So project is successful. So what is the difference between Brahma's inability and compared to his capability? What was the difference factor? Shreya? You're mumbling something.
Oh, what is the question? Sorry.
The difference between Brahma's incapability to capability. What changed the whole ball game?
His prayers to Krishna.
Miss prayers to Krishna. What does that mean for our life?
That whenever we're in distress or trouble, we should pray to Krishna and not try and do everything ourselves.
And when yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. And whenever we can hear you, Chaitanya. And whenever we are not in distress and trouble, we should still also pray to Krishna. We should not go to Krishna only when we are in trouble. Yeah. Let's not forget to go to him when we are not in trouble as well, in our good times. Yeah. So I'll summarize this chapter. So now the population has been created. So what will be the subject matter of the next chapter? Raise your hand. If you think you can informally judge what could be the topic of the next chapter. Yes, Tanvi.
I think it might be about Lord Varaha because I actually know because that he's in this canto.
No. Anybody else?
Next
you
one
just-
is about, can I say Prabhuji?
Yes. Yes.
Next one I think is about how the population expanded.
Brilliant. Brilliant. You know. The next thing could be about how the population expanded. What else? Unmute and just talk.
Maybe
Very good, Anand.
animals and
Appearance
Yes.
of Lord Varaha.
No, not about appearance. You are just reading. The reason I'm saying no to it because Tanvik and Aviraj are just reading the chapter title. It's not about Lord Varaha, although the title is like that. It is about, I want you to just follow the storyline. So as Anne said, it's possibly going to be about how did the population increase, Shreya?
is it like different creatures that were created like other than humans?
Yeah, possibly, other than humans, about 5 children. Did other creatures get created? What else? Possibly. Yes, Chaitanya, just speak.
Is it also about like what will happen because the population increased?
See, this is good thinking now. Now is there too much population? That could be the next problem. Now, is it too much now? Initially, it was too less. Is it too much? And what will happen to the population? That could be another thing. What else? Very good thinkings. Just keep thinking along these lines now. What else can be the next?
Maybe like places for the population.
Yeah, that's a brilliant point. Now, my goodness, there is so many people. Where are they gonna start? Where people fighting for the land? Where are they gonna live? That could be the next
I
topic. That
think
could.
Prabhuji, I think all the generations like of the creation of Brahma is going to be continue.
Yeah, maybe continuation of it's like us coming to the temple. Yeah. Initially, there were not too many people. When I started coming to the temple, there were not too many people at the temple. And now, what is our problem? There's too many people at the temple. Too much noise. Too many kids. Neighbors are complaining. So, when 12, 15 years ago, when I started coming to the temple, they were like only Western devotees. And I was possibly the only Indian one in Mangalarati one day. And then, gradually, there's just so many adults and Indians, and now there's just so many generation of kids that it's havoc for the neighbors. So where is one if there is Narsimha Chaturdashi, where do we go? There's so many people, as Shreya said. Where are they gonna live? Well, then we send them to the D celebrations in Point Cook, so that half of the Western population stays in Point Cook, and only a Point Cook, I think it is away about Truganina, the D celebrations, and the other half comes to the temple. So that there is too many people, not enough land. As Anne said, they possibly may be fighting for the land, or at least fighting for a place to live. That could be another topic. We don't know. Yes, Shreya?
Maybe. Wait,
Hmm?
what happens to the sons of Rudra?
The sons of Rudra together with Rudra went to meditate, I think.
I thought they
Or
were havoc. Why would they go and meditate?
because Brahma told them. Possibly, I can't remember. Rudra definitely went. What about the
But
sons of
then
Rudra?
Brahma told them to not be annoying. They didn't stop.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Bhagavatam hasn't answered all that. That could be the next topic. What happened to the sons of Rudra? So anyway, what exactly happens in next chapter, we don't know. We will find that out next week. But for now, I'll quickly summarize this whole chapter and then I'll park it there, right? So we started with Visarga, which is the creation by Lord Brahma. After the Sarga, which was creation by Lord Vishnu in the earlier chapters, we saw that Krishna created time, Krishna created Brahma, Krishna created the material ingredients, so on and so forth. Then Brahma started assembling. So Brahma initially created the ignorance with which he was displeased. Then Brahma created the four Kumaras to counteract the ignorance, and the four Kumaras are personified knowledge. But Brahma felt disrespected because the four Kumaras said, "We will not get married." So Brahma felt disrespected. Brahma got slightly agitated and angry. He suppressed his anger, and out came the Rudras. And Brahma said to the Rudras, "Please progenate." Rudras said, "Yes, boss." They went and progenited, but the population was not of the right type. Then Brahma got disturbed with all the trouble that was being created by the Rudra society. Brahma told them to stop, and Rudra said, "Okay, we will stop." And Brahma said, "Go and do austerities." The Rudras have gone to do austerities. There were 11 Rudras with 11 names, with 11 wives, with 11 places of residence. Then after that, Brahma created so many other things, such as, then Brahma created the 10 children, including Narada, Marichi, and Pulatsya, and so many other names, Angira, so on and so forth. Then Brahma created lust, greed, anger, all those things he created. Then we went to the Vak episode when we saw Brahma created his own daughter and temporarily fell down for his daughter. And then so we saw that Brahma was distracted from creation. The sages headed by Marichi went to Brahma to say, this is unprecedented behavior from you. Yad acharati shreshtas, whatever you do, common men will follow. So please correct yourself. And then they also respectfully prayed to the Lord together with Brahma to say, may the Lord guide us to do the right thing. Brahma immediately realized his mistake, and Brahma gave up his mental disposition and purified himself, rejuvenated himself, and continued with his creation. The lesson that we learn is when exalted devotees perhaps seemingly make a mistake, we should not judge them because they are very dear to the Lord will correct them. So if an exalted devotee makes a mistake, the devotee does not suffer because the Lord will rectify the situation. But if an exalted devotee makes a mistake and we laugh at that exalted devotee, we will be penalized. See what is happening? Three people are here: the Lord, exalted devotee, and us. If an exalted devotee seemingly makes a mistake, the Lord will fix him without him getting any reactions. But if we laugh at that exalted devotee, we will do Vaishnava aparad and we will suffer the consequence. So we have to be extremely careful not to commit Vaishnava aparad at any point in time, including any aparad to Lord Brahma. Thereafter, Brahma created so many other things like the four Vedas, the four ashrams, and then all the syllables and so on and so forth. We kept going. And then we saw that Brahma, after creating so many things, he was still seeing there was deficiency in the population. He was not satisfied. At this point in time, he came to senses, sat down, meditated on the Lord. Immediately, the Lord sent the solution. What was the solution? What was the solution the Lord sent?
Manu and
Manu and
Satrupa.
Satrupa came. And then Manu and Satrupa had 5 children, 2 sons and 3 daughters. Who were they?
Asti, Devahuti, Prasati, Uttanapada, and
and
Priyavrata.
And Priyavrata. So he had 5 children. And then the second line, the penultimate verse of the chapter, it said that those population increased. Population, one second. Population increased so much and so fast. He said the whole world was filled with population. And we also saw the 3 daughters getting married. Akuti got married to Ruchi. Let me see if I get it right. Prasuti got married to Daksha. And Devahuti got married to Kardama. The 2 children
That's
get.
all right. You got everything right.
Whom did the 2 sons get married? We don't know yet. Bhagavatam doesn't tell us. And that's where we stop. Next storyline, it could be about where will they live? Will they fight for the land? How will they create more? How does Varahadev fit in all that storyline? So on and so forth. We really don't know. But we will unveil it as we go next week. Okay. Question, Shreya? Hand is up.
Prabhuji, you said that the population increases rapidly, but it says it increases gradually. Is it?
Oh, it was the last word says now for them the whole world was filled with population. So gradually, rapidly, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not rapidly, but it's filled with population pretty quickly. Yeah, maybe you are right. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. It's more like the population is filled. Good pickup. Yes, Aviraj, your hand was up.
Is it? I think. Can we go back to the part where we think what will happen in the next chapter?
Yeah.
I think that Brahma will create more and more, then they will appear.
Okay, maybe we are all guessing, which is fine. We'll find out next week what actually happens. Yeah. Okay. Any other question?
wait,
Anusha?
maybe wait, can
Anand?
I guess I think in the next chapter maybe the demons will appear.
Maybe the demons will appear. Why will they appear? Because now the creation is happening. Some creation might be demonic here. Many things can happen. Anusha, you wanted to say something?
Prabhuji, I have another class. I have to go.
Okay. Thank you, Anusha.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Shreya, you wanted to say?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Anybody else wants to say anything? Otherwise, I'll stop here. Anya, any points? Did you follow the storyline? Because you joined a little bit late, so I'm just hoping that you are following the storyline. For now, you follow. Brahma is trying to create so many problems. Now comes the solution because he prayed to the Lord. Yeah, as simple as that. Anybody else? Chaitanya, you followed the storyline for this chapter at least. You up to speed now. Forget what happened up till chapter number 10, 11. But from now you are on a storyline.
Yeah, I'm understanding what's happening.
Yeah. And for those who have been there, you know, my style of teaching Bhagavatam is that I just want you to know the storyline. Because once we know that much and learn values as we go, that is sufficient. Yeah. And in terms of remembering and memorizing, just remember the key things. Don't have to remember everything. It's already written in the books. Anybody else? Now, pack it here. Nandrashna Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah, thank you, Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis.